Hey everyone, I have a special treat for today's video. I'm going to share with you a lesser known story about myself because I always forget to bring it up and I almost always forget it happened to me. In a very strange and a bizarre turn of events, I ended up actually creating a trailer for a B film in Hollywood. And man, did I really mess it up. So I'm going to share with you how I got this gig, what really happened, and of course the trailer itself, which I will post at the end of this video. So where to begin? Well, I guess it all really starts with my father. My father has worked in many industries over the last 30 years that he's been in America, and one of those industries actually is the film industry. He actually used to work on a few Spanish productions, so Secretos was one of them, and José Luis Sin Censura, which is like a Hispanic Maury or whatever those sort of like expose drama shows. I don't even know what to call them. In any case, he did this for roughly 10 years and he made a lot of connections. And he always really wanted to get back into the film industry, but his main industry that he's focused on in the past 2 decades has been real estate. Now, fast forward to about 2014, I had just graduated high school. I moved back to LA and I was actually living with my father at this time. And he's telling me that he's been working with a producer and he has a few gigs and he needs help on one of the projects. And of course, me being just a fresh out of high school student and really being into the film industry at that time, I was like, yeah, I'm interested. What did you need help with, Dad? So he tells me that we're gonna need to do a trailer for a movie that actually came out like around 2007. But they wanted to update it because all the film was actually captured on tape and they wanted to make it into digital, so it was like a whole thing. Nonetheless, I took my father's word for it and I joined him one day to go to the studio. We ended up driving down towards North Gower and Santa Monica, and I believe the place is called like Hollywood Production Studios. It's honestly a really nice building, and when you go inside, there's a bunch of posters for movies and of course TV screens that are always playing different movies. Just by looking around, I remember seeing so many posters that I was like, wow, like this studio worked on it. And there was things like Superbad, a bunch of classics like Jurassic Park, Balto, and some like even international films. Like actually they were actually playing some Bong Joon-ho movies back then. So he introduces me to his friend, who I don't remember his name right now, and we go into this editing room. Now this room is really big, so it's like a little studio with a bunch of sound pads, a big screen at the front, and then I was sitting at a desk with a computer with a little mouse trackpad, a keyboard specialized for editing, and he had a bunch of tapes stacked on the right hand side of the desk. These were the tapes from the film that they wanted me to transfer into digital and then ultimately compose into a trailer. So just to clarify, I'm 18 at this time, like I said, just graduated high school, and although I'm excited, I don't know anything about this movie and I don't know anything about editing. So needless to say, I'm kind of an amateur. But I didn't come off that way. When I spoke to the producer, he was fine. He seemed very confident in my skills. He trusted my father, who was obviously giving me a chance to work on this with him. And so that first day we got started, my dad was there helping me actually upload all that footage from the VHS tapes into digital format so that we can edit a full-length trailer. And this was the easiest day by far. I mean, it was pretty boring and straightforward, but it was the first step towards actually getting all the footage we needed to actually compose this trailer. We're there maybe 3 to 4 hours, and then we finish all the footage, and so we're kind of burnt out. We call it a day, and we decide to go home. That next day, we return back, we say hi to the guy, and this time, my dad's there maybe 30 minutes, and he tells me he has to go. Very quickly, he shows me how to edit on Avid. He tells me what he thinks the idea for the trailer should be. Just go through the movie, find interesting clips, compile them into a timeline, and then based on the song and the narrative of the film, compose it in a way that makes it attractive. Fair enough. I was like, you know what? I've seen enough trailers. I think I got an idea of what he'd like. And so I start watching this movie. And man, was this movie really bad. Oh man. So this movie was called Lords of the Underworld, and I've never heard of it, never seen it before, and I have never seen it since. Essentially, from what I could gather during my first viewing, it's about this mafia boss who is at war with another mafia, and somehow they get involved with some demonic witchcraft and end up having to duel to the death with some full contact basketball. Like, no joke, that I really think that's the synopsis. But this movie just has so much B-rated acting and sort of script writing in it. It was actually kind of hilarious.
You think this is a fucking game?
So that day I watched most of it. I wasn't really paying too much attention because I was really focused on doing this trailer. I'm there once again maybe 4 hours, and then my dad comes back and we're ready to go. And so we call it quits, and we're gonna return that following weekend. So I have about a week to sit on this. I'm telling my friends about this experience because it's so baffling to me. I don't know why they trust my dad with this. I don't know why we're working on a film that was like 7 years old at the time. And I don't know why they need a new trailer for it, because sincerely, this is not a good movie. Nevertheless, I was excited to just work on something and maybe build a portfolio for myself. And this could be a good first step in the business. So we end up in the following weekend and it's go time. I've pretty much assembled a bunch of clips, and they even gave me a song to work with. And so I was like, all right, cool. Now I have something to kind of stitch it to. My dad once again drops me off as he has to go do other duties, and I get to work. I spend hours on this thing. I'm like adjusting clip lengths. I'm adjusting the order. I'm trying to really make this thing feel like, you know, high energy, super high stakes. And honestly, I was kind of making myself laugh because some of the clips I got, like, it was just overreactions from the actors, and it's just hilarious to kind of witness. And sincerely, I think the clips that I got, although they were like kind of cool looking or had some energy to them, taking out of context, it just really meant nothing. In any case, about 2 hours in, I'm finally done. So I call my dad, I tell him, hey, the trailer's all ready. He says, great, I'm gonna go talk to my guy. He talks to his guy, I wait there, and they both appear in the room. He asked me how it was, how did it go, how do I enjoyed it, and I said, you know, it was pretty cool, and I think that he'll like the trailer I set up for him. And this is what I played for him. Needless to say, the producer was not happy. He ended up kicking me off the project, and my dad ended up having to finish that trailer for himself. After that, it honestly becomes kind of a blur. I just remember leaving, and it's just like such a funny and very, very strange experience. One of the reasons I think I don't share it that much is because it's just so strange. This movie is so weird. This whole circumstance of how I even got the gig is so strange. And the stupid project I actually presented was so embarrassingly bad, I don't really want to share it that much. But to be honest, I think it's hilarious. To this day, it just makes me laugh. But it taught me that I should probably take things a little bit more seriously. Even at 18, I was really messing around a lot. Like, I had goals in life and stuff, but I didn't take myself too seriously. I didn't take my work too seriously, nor did I even take how I presented myself too seriously. So there you have it. That was the time I worked on this terrible B film in Hollywood. I guess it's true what they say in the business. It's really about who you know. I don't think I would have ever gotten this opportunity had I not known my dad, and had my dad not known this guy. So it's just kind of random, and it's a little funny story. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you for listening. I'll be sharing more of my personal experiences because I realize that I've had a lot of strange and unique experiences that, you know, could be funny to listen to or can provide some value or lessons for you guys. And so with that, thank you for watching. Hit the like button if you liked it. Subscribe for future content just like this, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.